All right. Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us in our next business success webinar. We're excited to have Maria. She'll be presenting learning the ins and outs of certification. So definitely make sure to ask any questions. We'll be monitoring the chat as questions come in. And also make sure to include your contact information in the chat. Just a nice little way of networking now that everything's gone virtual. Uh, Also, if you have a mic, please make sure to mute yourself. That's a courtesy for our speaker today and for everyone who's attending as well. And like I mentioned, we'll be answering any questions that we get. We'll reserve some time at the end. So I'll be on the lookout for any of those as well. And before we get started, I know we've been uh, busy preparing for our leadership conference, so I just wanted to personally invite everyone who's on the line to please register. It's a free event this year, and our first event that will be broadcasting live from a studio. So make sure to register. I'll include information in the chat. And with that, I'd like to now introduce Maria, and she'll go ahead and take things from there. Thank you.
Thank you, Elizabeth. Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today on the webinar. Our life has changed tremendously, so we are actually now all doing a lot of virtual events and making sure that we still stay connected. So this morning, I would like to thank the Arizona Hispanic Chamber of Commerce and Monica Villalobos, President and CEO of the Arizona Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, for giving us, We Back West, an opportunity to present the ins and outs of certification. So thank you, welcome everybody. I really appreciate the time that you're taking today. I know that all of our time is very precious and we're all working. I think that with me, I feel like I'm working longer during this pandemic than ever. So just welcome. I know that everybody is busy, so I appreciate your time this morning. So let's get into the learnings and ins and outs of certification. So what is certification? The Women's Business Enterprise National Council validates businesses that are 51% controlled, operated, and managed by a woman or women owners. Certification is a tool. It doesn't guarantee business, but it's a tool that you use to leverage your organization to do business with corporations or also government entities. There are several types of diverse certification recognized by corporate America today. First of all, the Women's Business Enterprise National Council. It is the largest certifier of women business in the United States and a leading advocate for women business owners and entrepreneurs. WeBank certification validates a business that is 51% owned, controlled, operated, and managed by a woman or women. So if you're 50-50 to women, you still qualify for the criteria. We also have NMSDC, which is the National Minorities Supplier Diversity Council. That's another diverse certification, and it is a certifying organization for minority-controlled businesses, enterprise, whose minority owners own at least 30% of the economic equity of the firm. Also, we also have the WOSB, or the Women-Owned Small Business Certification, which WeBank, and there's a lot of acronyms, so we have the alphabet soup going on today. So the Women's Business Enterprise National Council has been approved as one of the few third-party certifying agencies by the Small Business Administration, or the SBA, And we will cover more about the WOSB certification towards the end of the presentation. Let me know if I'm going too fast. Why do corporations and government agencies request certification? So WeBank theme is join forces, succeed together. So we join forces with the women business enterprises along with corporations, and we succeed together, which we learned that success is only possible as we partner with our constituents towards the goal to join forces and move forward in success. The WeBank certification integrity is recognized and respected by Fortune 500 corporations as well as government agencies with established supplier diversity programs. Both corporations and government agencies believe that diversity promotes and creates partnership. They stand and support the WeBank certification standards and procedures that are the gold standards of choice of corporate America. Women Business Enterprise National Council history. It was founded in 1997 and it actually just celebrated 23 years this year. The National Women's Business Enterprise Certification, it is nationally recognized throughout the United States. So if you become certified through WeBank, you will be considered a WBE, a Women Business Enterprise. Corporate America and Small Business Associations have defined the WeBank certification as a choice of certification. WeBank has we're headquarters, our main headquarters is in Washington, D.C. WeBank has 14 regional partners organizations, which are also acronym RPOs, who support, administer, process the WeBank certification across the United States. WeBank West is one of those 14 regional partners. WeBank has over 3,000 corporations that accept the Women's Business Enterprise certification. So what is the WeBank certification? So we'll start with ownership. The applicant company must be at least 51% owned by one or more women who are U.S. citizens or permanent legal residents. The operation and control behind the scenes, the management and the daily operations of the company must be controlled by one or more women. You will find this information in your governing documents. So review your documents carefully, whether you are an LLC and you have an operating agreement, a partnership and you have a partnership agreement, or you're a corporation and you have bylaws. Make sure that you review your information carefully because the WeBank standards and procedures is what the committee uses to review your documentation. So we don't conform to your how you operate your business or you set up your business. We follow the WeBank standards and criteria. So I'm going to keep repeating this throughout the webinar because a lot of individuals fail to realize that, we're following the standards that WeBank has had in place, and we've been in business for many, many years, as I mentioned. Contribution, the expectation of contribution is the capital, the expertise by a woman owner, and it shall be real and substantial. It should be in proportion to her interest. So your contribution should be proportional to your 51% interest in the company. Independence, the women owners shall have the ability to perform in the area of specialty or expertise without substantial reliance upon finances or resources by males or non-women business enterprises. So what does that mean? Financials and resources, equipment, automobile, facility, maybe payroll. There has to be a line that is separated, and it should not be, you should not be conjoining with a male or a non-women business enterprise because you should be independent of this. Unless you have, let's say, an accountant, then that's fine. But it is sometimes women will have multiple businesses in one location. And sometimes, unfortunately, the location may have multiple owners, and there's a man that actually oversees that other business and provides services that the woman can actually benefit from, but it has to be separate. Separate, you should have some kind of agreement, you should be paying some kind of fee. You have to be separate, you have to be independent. Also, US citizen or legal resident. At least 51% of the owned and controlled women or women owners have to be United States citizens or lawful permanent residents. The must do before applying is extremely valuable for you to visit webank.org. The website, if you click on certification, you have a slew of information on the documents that are needed, FAQs, if certification is right for you. There's a quiz. There's a lot of information available. If you are looking to apply for certification, I do recommend to do some homework. Is very, very important because sometimes we start and we apply and we don't realize that, let's say the company has been in business for 20 years and we have never reviewed our bylaws or our operating agreement. We have never seen this information and we submit it as is. But from then to today, there may have been a lot of changes. And if you became a woman business owner in 2018, please, or 2019 or 2020, or within the time frame, please review your governing documents. Those are an integral part of the committee review. And we have a lot of files that when they don't meet the standards is because the documents either they're outdated or they weren't reviewed to meet our standards. So please, please do review them. Also, I recommend for you to go to the website and do the quiz. Is certification right for you? Is it right for me? Because there's some information on that quiz that will give you an eye view of whether or not you want to actually complete an application. Don't run and complete the application. The system is time sensitive. So while you start looking at what we're asking for in the application process, the system may time you out and you have to start all over. So I don't want you to have to start all over because it's a lot of information. So no, you gotta understand that it is time consuming, but please do your homework. We want you to be successful. We're here in the business to certify women business. And sometimes a site visit can validate that you're a woman business owner, but your documents don't. So if your documents don't, you may not meet the criteria to be certified. Other things, like I mentioned earlier, know your business, know how you operate your business. One of the key points is a site visit interview that happens. So the first part is actually where the staff put together the document. The next piece is the documents get reviewed by a certification committee. All of our committee members are held to a high standard of confidentiality. So please know that there are volunteers and some of them are corporate members, some of them are also WBEs or Women Business Enterprises, but they are standing on a high standard of the certification process from WeBank. And we value them because they spend between 4 to sometimes 6 hours in a committee meeting. So I do recommend print out the standards and procedures, download them, read them, make them your friend. This is the information and the documentation that the committee utilizes when they're reviewing your file. They look at the ownership of the company. Please know, as I mentioned earlier, you have to be 51%. And so what that means that we don't round up. So if you turn in a stock certificate that says your ownership is 50.5, you are denied. We don't round up. So then control. Do you control the company? Can you move things forward? Please do go and review the standards and procedures. Everything is in there. Do you have the highest title in the company? As an LLC, the highest title should be the manager or a managing member. Or if you're a woman owner and you have other individuals, I know that when you present yourself to a corporation, you're not going to say, hi, my name is such and such, and I'm the managing member. No, you're going to say, hi, I'm the president of my company. Does your operating agreement list you as the president, as the highest title as president of your company? Or does it say that you're a manager or a member? Also, expertise. What is your expertise? Sometimes we have a lot of sweat equity. We have put years in this business, right? So, what is your expertise in the area of your company? And independence, again, always know that you have to be independent to a male or a non-women certified company. More do's, more key points. Know your business, the structure, review your document when applying. Make sure that they're in alignment with the WeBank standards and procedures. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, this time it's going. My mouse is faster than my slide presentation. Okay, and then more most do before applying, and we stress this highly because it is certification for the WeBank WBE. So it is stressed highly to make sure that you compare your company structure with the certification requirements. Review the mandatory documents. There's a list of mandatory documents. We ask you for a history of your business. Explain when, where, why, with whom, and how the business was started or acquired. Give an explanation. Your company is your business and it should be your passion. So put it all in paper when you're actually um, looking to start the certification. Explain your history. Believe me, a lot of the committee members enjoy reviewing the history of the company because it gives them an eye view of what you have gone through to start this company or to acquire this company. Proof of United States citizen. The document that we require is either a birth certificate, a naturalization paper, or an unexpired passport. Proof of gender for owners who are women. Copy of the United States passport, a birth certificate, or your driver's license. Resumes, that's another document. Please review your document. Make sure that it's current. Make sure that your resume is current and it has your title as president and CEO. I've gotten resumes and the resume said the person is an office manager, the woman owner, or she was VP and she went ahead and bought some more shares in the company and became president, but forgot to update the resume. Please update your resume. We do not accept bios because one of the things that the committee has to review is your expertise. So this is by looking at the years that you have been working in the industry. Another document is actually the bank signature card. Who are the signers in the business account for the company? If the woman business owner who owns 51% of the company is not a signer on the bank signature card, that's a problem. You don't control your finances. So please make sure that your bank signature card aligns with your ownership in the company. We request 3 years of tax return. And so you say, well, Maria, I started the company yesterday. I don't have 3 years of tax return. Okay, that's fine. So we do require taxes, unfortunately, and you'll have to replace the business taxes with personal taxes. I do recommend that you block out any social security numbers and any dependent names of your tax returns. And I'm sorry, again, if you're not willing to give up this information, then certification may not be for you because we do need the documentation. Um, Profit and loss statements, if you've just been started a company in less than a year, we won't need your profit and loss statement. We just need a balance sheet. And all the information that I'm covering today and right now, it is also on the website. So you can, if I'm going too fast, you can see the list and the information and the explanation is also on the website. Debts, let's cover debts. So your balance sheet is reviewed and we're looking at the information that you're providing. So if you have a Visa card, if you have a loan, those information will show up on your profit and loss or your balance sheet. This information is expected to be submitted into the system. Now, if it's personal, please don't. We also want you to provide us with the list of the full-time or part-time employees um, by name, position, and length of service or date of hire, including the owners. This gives us information on, sometimes it's like who's been there the longest. Remember, we're looking for expertise in the women business owner. And no question is ever a negative. You may have an answer. It's like I told a lady one day, she called me and she's like, well, one of my employees is actually a salesperson and they make more money than I do. And it's because of their bonuses, you know? So I'm like, that's fine. As long as you can explain it, we're okay. There has to be an explanation for the reason on why things are different. We look for W-2s, 1099 form from every officer, director, and owner. Not every employee, but the officer, the director, and owners. Those are receiving compensation for the company, and we're only looking for the recent year. So again, I mentioned earlier about your governance information. Your governance is your business structure, how you're set up as a sole proprietorship, a partnership, LLC, or a corporation. So just remember, as a sole proprietorship, the woman owner owns 100% of the company. We have received sole proprietorship documentation where the woman owner is stating that the male owns 49%. I'm sorry, that is not recognizable by WeBank. The woman owner must own 100% of the company. When it comes to corporation, she has to own 51% and she has to have the voting at 51%. Please note that sometimes you have a trust agreement that is involved in the company. We do not want your personal trust. Your personal family trust is not something that we want. But if your company is involved, let's say your tax certificate says for the trust of such and such, then we need a copy of the trust. And 51% of the ownership on that trust has to meet criteria. So again, go to the standards and procedures. If you have questions, um, you can actually contact me and I can actually give you um, information on what type of trust and what kind of trust we actually do move forward in certification. Partnership, 51% of the partnership interest has to be owned by a woman or multiple women. LLCs, again, when it comes to LLCs or limited liability companies, the principal must own at least 51% of the membership and 51% of the management and control of the company. So keep in mind, the key point that we always see to have discrepancies when individuals are submitting documents goes into the highest officer title. Based on the fact that this is a women's certification, a Women Business Enterprise Council certification, the women owners should have the highest defined officer title in the company, whether it's president, CEO, managing member, managing partner, whatever the title is, it has to be defined in the governance document as such. The WeBank certification process. So the process starts with you gathering all the documents and looking at the list of the documents that are on the website. Review your legal and financial information. And it's very important that you start with the list of documents, check off, gather everything that you have. I am very, very sure that you have at least 60% of the documents that we're asking. So which means that there are some documents that are required. So there is a difference between mandatory and required. So mandatory, we do need to have you give the legal, letting us know your gender, um, your history, but there are some required documents that you may not have. If you started your company last month, you may not have loans. You have a bank account, but you may not have, again, you don't have a profit and loss. So that's a non-applicable item. So I always recommend that you look at the list, check off everything that you see that you have on hand, and then everything that you don't see, that you don't think you have, and you don't understand what it is, either visit the website. On the FAQs, it explains what the document is, or you can call us and we can actually walk you through it. But if you don't have it, don't invent it. If you don't have a trust, don't invent a trust, please. If you don't have a power of attorney, don't make a power of attorney. It can stop you. It can stop you from being certified. So please, you know that if you don't have it, we're not asking for you to create documents that you don't have, but we need documents. So if you're a single LLC, as a business document, you should have an operating agreement, and Google is my friend. So just let me let you know that you can actually create a stock ledger by Googling it, or you can create an operating agreement by Googling. A lot of people go into websites to get and create this information, but you have to be very careful because we have a lot of websites that the documents are driven as a mail-driven document. So please review the document. I don't suggest that you don't sign or submit the application until you have reviewed it for accuracy. Make sure the women owners, sometimes as women business owners, we're very busy and we have our assistants or our admins helping us through this process and they're completing the application for us. Please review the information before you sign it and submit it. I am sure you trust that person. I am sure you trust them 100%, but sometimes either they misspell something or the ownership is not accurate. So the application is also reviewed by the committee. So I just want you guys to know, please do not sign or submit until you review the application. There is an internal process in our organization, and the We Back West, the Women Business Enterprise West organization, has staff on hand. The staff, the first key is that the file is received by an assigned individual in our office. That person that receives this file will forward and assign to a certification specialist. The specialist has 15 business days to touch the documentation. We Back West has over 1,800, 1,856 women business certified owners. We are one of the largest organizations within WeBank. So because we have so many women business certified, our staff also are reviewing new certs as well as recertifications or renewals. So keep in mind, that's why we have a 15 business day window to touch the documentation. Also, the application and the documents are reviewed for completeness. We want to make sure that it's 100% complete before we send it to a committee review. There's times that you will receive a Q&A, a question and answer. The question and answer is sent by the system and is actually a staff member looking at maybe something is missing, something is needed to be complete. It is the staff's job to make sure that they are complete as well as the application is complete. The specialist will review the Q&A responses. So they'll review it to make sure that they're acceptable in order to move the file forward and acceptable based on the WeBank standards and procedure. So they may ask you for a document, and a lot of times it's that, who are the titles, who has the highest title within the company. So if you state that it is your spouse or your male partner or your brother, this is a women business certification. Keep that in mind. Also, the file is deemed complete and is deemed complete after all the documents have received, all the clarification has been taking place, the Q&As have been responded, and they've been reviewed. And so you'll get an email from the system that will tell you that the file has been complete. The clock for the certification process does not begin till your application has been completed. So it takes a team. It takes you as the person that applies, and it takes us. So we work very hard. We send a lot of information in the system. Please pay attention. Please look for the information. Please respond in a timely manner. because the longer you take, the longer it takes us to complete your file. So with that being said, the process takes 90 days. So we're in a 90-day window and the clock starts ticking when the file is complete. So I've seen many applications that have came through the door 100% complete. And a lot of them are because the women business owner has taken the time to join us on a webinar or join us in a presentation or call our office and found out more information and done their homework. So just FYI, if the staff touches the file in 15 business days and they look at the system and see that your information is complete, can you imagine how fast you're going through the system? Remember, our clock doesn't start ticking for the 90-day process until the file is complete. You'll receive a lot of email notifications where in each step that you have completed. The first step is the file is complete. During that time, when the file is completed, it will be slated for a committee review. So we have 2 committees held every month. And sometimes we have an emergency committee that takes place. So just remember that file that's completed will hit one of those 2 committees. We can't give you the date of when your file will hit the committee because sometimes what happens is that if there's too many files and we run out of time, remember, our certification committee members are volunteers. So if we run out of our time window, we'll have to push the file to the next committee. So that's why a lot of times we are not able to give you that window. But the process does take 90 days. And the wonderful thing is that after your file's been reviewed by a committee, you get an email. And the email will let you know that now the file is going to be slated for a site visit. A site visit is an interview face-to-face. And in the world that we live today, it's virtual via Zoom.com. So a lot of you guys are familiar now with Zoom.com. So the site visit will take place with one of our specialists and is questions that were created and developed by WeBank in reference to your company. So it's nothing new. It's to your company, who are the owners, who hold the highest title, has the highest pay, the expertise, the experience, and if the committee has additional questions, they will be asked at a site visit interview. So just remember, the 90-day window takes place after the file is complete. It's slated to a committee for review. We schedule a site visit, and then after the 90-day process, if by any chance, if we have to send it to a committee, a second committee, you will receive an email giving you notice that the file will be slated to a second committee. A lot of times it's not a negative, it's just clarification. A committee might have needed some extra clarification about your company, your expertise, and they want to make sure that, when they sign up or approve, the file is 100% approved as a women business enterprise, and it meets the WeBank standards and procedures. The annual fee. The annual fee is based on your annual gross revenue. So if your company is from $0 to 999,000, the fee is the non-refundable processing fee of $350. If it's between 1 million and 4.9, it's $500. If your company range from 5 million to 9.9, it's $750. If your company range from 10 to 50 million, it's 1,000, and from 50 million and above, it's 1,250. Benefits of certification in a national and regional level. So as you guys know, as of today, and because of our uncertain times, we actually had to postpone our national conference and our regional conference. The WeBank National Organization, they have a lot of matchmaker series, a lot of global business initiatives. They actually have scholarship in place, like the Dorothy B. Ward Brothers Scholarship Program. They have the Tuck WeBank Executive Program. We had the Summit and Salute and the National Business Conference and Business Fair. Right now, they're working on a virtual conference, so keep keep your eyes open for the WeBank national conference coming in soon. We also have student entrepreneur programs. This is a great program, and students get involved. Also, they get mentored by corporations and some of our women business enterprises. So just keep in mind that's in the national level. And the regional level, which is the Women's Business Enterprise Council West, which is WeBack West. We also have matchmakers. We have an ambassador program. The ambassador program are women business owners who are president and CEO who have been with our organization, who actually understand the certification process that they want to give back. So those are individuals that are in ambassador program. And what happens is that if you would like an ambassador program, once you're certified, we pair you up with an individual and you can ask them a slew of questions and information regarding how to move your company forward, what are the pitfalls and what are the benefits, what are they seeing to make the best moves for the company. We also have events. Events that have been in the past specified by state. Currently, we have events that are virtually. So if you visit our website at webackWest.org, wbec-west.org, you can actually see all our events. Also, we are having our annual conference. Usually our annual conference is in the first, second week in September. This year, again, because of our uncertainties and what's been happening in our world, we have shifted the conference and we will have a virtual conference this year on December 7th. It starts December 7th, the 8th, and the 9th. It's an amazing conference. The team is already working to move this forward. So I encourage you to go on the website because I know that the website is up already and register for the conference. If you want more information, again, I am on the WeBack West website. And as Elizabeth mentioned at the beginning, my name is Maria Boykin. I am the certification manager for the team. So you can actually go ahead and go to the website and all my information is there. Also, we have a program called the PSP1, the PSP2, which is programs that are guided and utilized by certified women business owners. It's called the Platinum Supply Program. The Platinum Supply Program is a huge program for WeBack West. We have individuals from other states who have come through our organization and through the program. You have to be certified in order to participate, but this program was put together by corporation community partners, women business enterprises, to better value certification. They help you with creating your capability statement. They help you with your elevator speech. You present in front of corporate members. It is an amazing program, and individuals that actually go through the program are very valuable to corporations. So just an FYI, again, if you're looking for information regarding events, Matchmaker, the scholarship programs, please, you can visit WeBank, WBENC.org, or you can visit WeBack West, which is WBEC-West.org. Wow, so today is an amazing day. It is Wednesday. And I just want to share with you guys because a lot of people, they get certified and they think, I'm certified, but I have not gotten any business. I don't know what to do. Certification is a tool. It does not guarantee contracts. So let me tell you, what you put into it is what you'll get out of it. So just know that it is a tool for you to use to leverage your company. When I began the presentation, I mentioned why corporations, why do they want individuals to be certified? They want you to be certified because we bet you as a 51% owned, operated, controlled company, right? But it is a tool, and you have to engage, and you have to network, and you have to be able to, join events because just like today, a lot of you guys have joined, and you can always shoot each other an email if by any chance you know each other, or if you contact you can contact Elizabeth for more information if the individuals that are online, you know, are actually, there is a list for you guys to contact each other. Again, certification is a tool. And so I always say, you get a gym membership. My daughter made me laugh because she said, Mom, you started a gym membership in January and today is September and COVID-19 happened. So guess what? I bought a bike because I can't go into a gym. So what I'm putting into to be more healthy is what I'm going to get out of what I'm doing, right? So certification is the same way. You got to put some work into it to get something out of it. So I recommend, there's strategies on finding corporate opportunities. Research 3 companies from our website and see who are the supplier diversity managers. Shoot them an email saying, hi, I'm with this company, I'm the president CEO. I do recommend that you do research on those companies before you call them. Know more about the company because when you're actually doing a strategy and you want to do business with a corporation, it's not what they can do for you, but what you can do for them. Okay? So make sure that you look at their website. Some of them do have vendors list. Register on their vendors list. If you're certified, register on their vendors list, upload your certificate. Be proud, you know. Contact the supplier diversity managers or the supplier diversity staff from those corporate partners of ours and let them know I'm a certified company. And I was looking at your website and I noticed that I can actually help you with this. Let them know where you can help them. See where you fit in their corporation. Attend events, build relationships, take advantage of matchmaker meetings. We're having matchmaker meetings at our conference, so take an opportunity and take advantage of it because what happens at the matchmaker meetings, you may not get a job today, but keep in mind, I have had supplier diversity managers send me an email and said, Maria, I met this person at one of the matchmakers. At the time, I didn't have an opportunity, but I do now. Do you know how I can get a hold of them? Please take advantage of matchmaking meetings. Register for corporate vendor portals. Make sure that you are in all the vendor portals, especially those that are you looking to do business with. So we are at the end of section 1, which is the WBANK certification. As I mentioned earlier, I'll move forward after if you got any questions for me, any Q&As at this time regarding certification.
Great. Thank you so much, Maria. I know I've received a couple questions. So let me read those off for you. First one here is, should we include 1099 employees too with our W-2 employees on the application?
So sometimes you have too many of them, right? Sometimes your company has a slew of 1099 employees. So on your payroll is your W-2 employees. Your 1099s usually are the intricate parts. So if you have consultants that are a big part of your organization, I do recommend that you put them on the list. But remember, we only need the W-2s and the 1099s for the corporate president, vice president, all the individuals that have 51% ownership or more, directors, so not your staff.
Okay, perfect. Another question. With COVID, this person, myself, and my employees are working remote and might consider a work from home option going forward. Do we have to have a physical office, brick and mortar for certification, or will an in-home office suffice?
So even before COVID, a home office is fine. So as long as you have, we're expecting in January of 2021 to go back face to face. Right now, all our services are virtual via Zoom. So in order to keep you and healthy and safe with this environment, we're doing everything virtually to the end of the year. Yes, your home office is fine. A lot of our women business owners that have corporate buildings have shifted to a home office.
Great. Thank you for clarifying that. And make sure to include any questions as well in the chat, or you could send them to me as well. But another question that we got, once we get certified, is there support for WeBank to help us get in touch with minority diversity contacts at companies across the U.S. to help get business and or on their vendor list?
So once you get certified, you have access to all the corporations that these are some of them that you see on the webinar right now on the page. These are some of them, Caesar, Raytheon, those are some of our corporates, right? Kaiser Permanente. So once you get certified, you have access to all of their phone numbers, all of their emails, all of their contact information. Also, we have individuals called community advocates. We have staff in the community who, if you need, let's say you want a one-to-one presentation with the diversity individual in Caesar. You know, we have Anna in Las Vegas, Nevada, and she actually works that region really, really well. We have Jamie Lomax, who's our vice president, and she's actually over all of our states. We actually have 7 states. We have Arizona, California, Colorado, Nevada, Utah, Wyoming, Hawaii, and Guam. So we have 7 states that we cover, and we have women business owners. Like I mentioned earlier, we have the ambassador program. That's also helpful because sometimes you can talk to a woman business owner, right? And they may be doing business with a company that you want to do business with. So we have a lot of ways for you to get connected.
Another question I got, and not sure if you discussed this, Maria, but what is the time frame once all the information has been submitted?
It's a 90-day window. So I mentioned earlier, the staff, once we receive your application in our inside portal, so first of all, you complete it, you submit it, right? Once you submit it, a staff member will receive it. Once they receive it, they assign it. An employee of our team will go ahead and process the information, but they have 15 business days. If in that 15, when they touch it on the 15 business day, it's 100% complete, the file will start ticking because you'll receive an email saying that your application has been complete. Believe me, it does happen. And so there is a 90-day window. It can shorten. We can't guarantee it, and we don't have an expedition process, but it can shorten based on how fast you respond.
Okay, thank you for clarifying that. We still have about 10 minutes or so, so any last minute questions, feel free to include in the chat. But Maria, do you have any, while we wait for questions, do you have any other recommendations or any kind of like closing remarks that you'd like to give everyone?
Yeah, I kind of beat my recommendation to make sure that you review your legal documents, your operating agreements. Please review your operating agreements, your bylaws, your partnership agreement. Review them to make sure that it says that your voting is per vote, by vote, not per member. Because if you have a company and it's you and a male and it's per member, guess what? The voting can't move forward. So that's a key point to understand is how is your voting moved forward in your company. I do understand that you built this company, you created it the way you would like it to operate, and we're fine with that. We're really fine with however you want to operate your company. The concern becomes when you want to apply for certification with WeBank. The WeBank standards and procedures have to take place in your governing document because of the fact that that's the way that we determine and vet the company at 51% or more. So LLCs, make sure that, LLCs is a different type of organization as well as partnerships. Make sure that, if you are the president CEO, you want to be recognized as the president CEO, your governing documents for an LLC, which are your operating agreements, list that title as the highest defined title in the company. You know, it's easier when it comes to bylaws because bylaws will describe president, vice president, secretary, treasurer, right? But when it comes to an LLC, the operating agreement is based on member or managing member. Also, keep in mind that if you're president and you have a male partner that is CEO, and your bylaw said, it's operated by the CEO of the organization, pay close attention to the title because you may have the ownership of 51, but there's little pieces that can cause your application not to meet the WBANK criteria, like unanimous consent. You should have the ability to be able to move forward the sale of assets of your company. So if it's unanimously, if it's a greater voting in your governing documents to unanimously consent the sale of your assets, that all the parties have to be unanimously in agreement to sell assets of the company. So pay attention to the unanimous word in your governing documents. Any more questions, Elizabeth?
Yes, I just got one more here. Do you have any data or stats on how being a women certified business has increased a business revenue?
I'm pretty sure that we do have it. I don't have it with me today. I know that we do have it because we provide that to our corporate members. So if you want more information, you can shoot me an email. And then, I'm sorry, my email address is Maria, Maria, at wbec-west.org.
Great, thank you. And we'll also share Maria's contact information in our follow-up email to everyone. Just a couple more questions for you, Maria, and then we'll go ahead and wrap up today's presentation. What are the two biggest reasons why the application is rejected?
Wow. Usually if it's an LLC, it's highest title, or a corporation. It's usually highest title, unanimous consent, and a trust. So if you have a trust within the business that does not meet the trust criteria for WBANK, remember this is a certification for a woman who owns, operate, and control, manage the company. So that trust has to demonstrate that. So a lot of times, either it's trust, highest title, or the governing documents to show unanimous consent. So that's actually been the quiet, a lot of certifications that did not meet the criteria.
Great. And I'm just monitoring here the chat, and looks like Evelyn says thank you, and she is planning on getting her business certified. So be on the lookout for that application, Maria. And then Lisa just says thank you. This was very informative. She's a small business, but she looks forward to the opportunity to submit applications to airports to become a vendor. I find certification opens doors, and that's from Lisa, also one of our members. So with that, if anyone else has any questions, feel free to contact Maria directly. Like I mentioned, we'll go ahead and send her contact information in today's post-event email. But on behalf of the Chamber, thank you so much, Maria. This was a really great presentation. I learned a lot as well. And we look forward to having everyone attend our Black and White Leadership Conference on Friday. But with that, I like to officially wrap it up and wish everyone a great rest of your day. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you, everyone.